When we think the royal drama has already reached its peak, Prince Harry drops a bombshell that shakes the walls of the palace. The beloved son of Princess Diana is finally speaking, and what he reveals about King Charles will leave you speechless. A mysterious letter, a tragic accident, and a web of secrets hidden in plain sight for decades. Get ready, royal fans. This story is about to shake the crown of the monarchy. Imagine this. November 14th, 1948. The halls of Buckingham Palace are abuzz with the arrival of a small heir to the British throne. Charles Philip Arthur George is born with a silver spoon and the weight of a kingdom on his tiny shoulders. But don't be fooled by the glamour. Being born into the most famous family in the world isn't all crowns and afternoon teas. For Charles, it was a world filled with shocking secrets that he and Diana's son would eventually reveal decades later. Young Charles grew up in a world where every move was scrutinized and every decision analyzed. His parents, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, were not exactly the nurturing type. While other children listened to bedtime stories, young Charles received lessons on royal protocol. Some childhood memories may have been gilded, but the palace walls were lonely for a prince trying to find his way. When it came to education, the royal family didn't mess around. At age 8, Charles was sent to Cheam School, where he learned to read, write, and take on responsibilities fit for royalty. But the real education came at Gordonstoun in Scotland. Imagine trading a comfy bed at the palace for cold showers and runs through the Scottish countryside. It wasn't a typical school. It was a royal boot camp. Charles described it as a mix of cold and kilts. Some say this strict approach helped shape the man he would become, but this is where things start to get interesting. At 22, the young prince decided to shake things up by joining the Royal Navy. This wasn't just a ceremonial role. Charles actually learned the trade, serving aboard HMS Minerva and living like a sailor. He even qualified as a helicopter pilot. Not bad for someone who grew up with servants tying his shoelaces. This military period revealed a different side of Charles, someone unafraid to get his hands dirty. But was he as noble as he seemed? The answer may surprise you. In search of purpose, in 1976, Charles did something remarkable. He founded the Prince's Trust, a charity genuinely aimed at helping disadvantaged youth. It became a game changer, transforming the lives of thousands. It seemed like Charles had found his calling. When not busy with his passions, Charles wasn't your typical aristocrat. While others hunted foxes, he sought to preserve historical buildings and lamented modern architecture. He even talked to plants, yes, really, and advocated for organic farming long before it became trendy. He wasn't afraid to express his views, even when they ruffled feathers. The media loved his quirks, painting him as either a visionary or a royal eccentric. But perhaps Charles's greatest challenge was finding a wife. By his 30s, he was still single. Rumors swirled, the palace wanted an heir, and the public craved a royal romance. Charles mingled with British high society, including Lady Sarah Spencer, yet finding true love as a future king was complicated. On July 1st, 1961, the Spencer family welcomed a girl who would change royal history forever, Diana. Don't be deceived by the fairy tale beginning. Diana's childhood was far from perfect. Despite her aristocratic background, her early years were marked by her parents' bitter divorce, which shook her world. At age 7, Diana developed a natural empathy and warmth that set her apart. While her school grades weren't stellar, her ability to care for others was remarkable. At 19, Diana lived in a London apartment with friends and worked as a kindergarten teacher, quite the contrast for a future princess. Fast forward to the summer of 1980, 19-year-old Diana caught Charles's eye at a barbecue. After just 12 dates, Charles proposed. Diana dazzled and accepted. But was it love or merely finding a suitable wife? The July 29, 1981, wedding was grand, but tensions were already brewing. Would this fairy tale have a happy ending? Only time would tell. By 1982, Prince William was born, and in 1984, Prince Harry arrived. Diana devoted herself to motherhood with a passion that sometimes raised eyebrows. She insisted on giving her sons a semblance of normality, taking them to school and exposing them to life beyond the palace walls. But behind the picture-perfect family and royal duties, cracks began to form. Charles and Diana were as different as fire and ice. She was all emotion and heart, while he remained reserved and distant. And then there was Camilla Parker Bowles. Charles called her just a family friend, but Diana wasn't convinced. Her instincts told her something was wrong. As the 1980s wore on, the fairy tale increasingly felt like a gilded cage for Diana, and the greatest betrayals were yet to come. In 1989, at a party for Camilla's sister, Diana confronted Camilla, declaring she knew about her affair with Charles. Camilla tried to feign innocence, but Diana held her ground. The confrontation marked a turning point. In 1992, Andrew Morton's book, Diana, Her True Story, shocked the world, revealing the royal marriage's darker side: infidelity, jealousy, and betrayal. Diana was the secret source. In 1994, Charles admitted to adultery in a televised interview, claiming it happened only after the marriage had irretrievably broken down. By 1996, the fairy tale officially ended with their divorce. A year later, on August 31st, 1997, Diana tragically died in a car crash in Paris. The world mourned the people's princess. The image of young William and Harry walking behind their mother's coffin remains etched in collective memory. Yet questions linger. Why were the tunnel cameras not working that night? Diana's note, expressing fears for her safety, hinted at a deeper mystery. Harry has since demanded answers, challenging the official investigations. His revelations suggest that the story behind Diana's death may be far more complex. As Harry continues to speak out, even William's relationship with Charles seems strained. Diana's ghost and the questions surrounding her tragic death remain unresolved. The people's princess may be gone, but her legacy and the secrets she took with her still cast a shadow over the monarchy.